All right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? How we doing today? I am the one called Mills, and welcome to the first live episode of Let Us Talk Sports. I am excited to share my thoughts and insights on the latest happenings in the world of sports. This episode will be discussing the NBA and NHL playoffs. Join me as I dive live into the action, analyze key matchup highlights, and don't miss out on the excitement. But you're here, and I hope you're watching. I hope you're not missing out. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's do this. Let's start it off with the NBA playoffs. The first round has concluded with some exciting matchups. With the Eastern Conference, you know, coming to a close, and the second round starting its way. We had Miami beating out the Milwaukee Bucks, which was upset alert. This is also the first time that a play-in team has gone on to the next round. Hasn't been shut out. Um, Continuing on, excuse me. The New York Knicks beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. Um, that was a toss up right there. It could have gone either way. I felt, but I definitely felt like Cleveland choked a little bit. I thought, they would have played a little bit better than they actually did. So kudos to the New York Knicks for showing up, and Cleveland not. Um, Continuing on, we got the 76ers. Philadelphia 76ers. They are the only team to shut out their opponent, the Brooklyn Nets. Um, Congratulations to the 76ers for moving on to the next round. We got some sad news, though, in tonight's game against the Boston Celtics. Joel Embiid will not be playing tonight. He's going to be sitting out. So that's some sad news right there. But as I was saying, the Boston Celtics did beat the Atlanta Hawks in that round, and that's you know kudos to the Atlanta Hawks because I actually thought the Celtics were gonna like sweep the floor with them, but Atlanta was like, that's not gonna happen. Ice Trey was like, I'm in the building, so as long as I'm here, you know, uh, we got a chance. So like, well, we'll continue on to the Western Conference. The Denver Nuggets, of course, we knew they were going to beat the Timberwolves. I actually thought, the Timberwolves might have, put up a better effort against Joel Embiid. I definitely didn't think Jamal Murray would have showed up, like he did in that series. But kudos to them. The Nuggets were looking pretty stellar, um, and for the most part. The Phoenix Suns beat the LA Clippers. Now that right there is, geez, that's just something I'm gonna get into in just a second after I finish off all these other tidbits of teams and stuff like that. But yeah, the Phoenix Suns beat the LA Clippers in that series. Swept the floor with them. Paul George was out for the whole series, and Kawhi Leonard didn't play the last 3 games. So you have that. We'll discuss that in a minute. Continuing on, the Golden State Warriors beat the Sacramento Kings last night, actually, in a game 7, with Stephen Curry putting on an amazing show, scoring a 50-piece McNugget, looking all nice. All right. And then, last but not least, the Los Angeles Lakers upsetting the Memphis Grizzlies, making it the second play in tournament team to make it. Wow. That's crazy. I don't think anybody ever thought the Lakers would make it. I actually, I would say, it's a toss up. I would say it's 50-50. I also believe that, if Stephen Adams was there, you know, um, it would have been a different story. And if Mr. Dylan Brooks then opened his mouth, that was another thing um, that ruined it for them. Because that just put LeBron in beast mode. And everybody else, was like, all right, we're riding with you. We're riding with you, Brian. We're riding with you. Um, for the NHL playoffs, the Boston Bruins, the number one team, they had record setting, had the most wins, record setting year for them. Lost in overtime last night. Huh. Yes, I said it. They lost in overtime to the Florida Panthers last night. Wow. Wow. They join another list of teams that never won a championship but had a record setting year um, in the regular season. um, but let's get back to basketball. I'm gonna get back to that because that's just that's just something I've been watching. I've been watching a lot of. I love watching the NBA playoffs. Um, I love watching hockey too, but I just I really haven't gotten around to really getting into the hockey playoffs, let alone any of the other football and baseball and stuff like that. I just haven't been watching as much as I should as much as I should have been, or as much as I should be watching. I should but that's my problem. That's my problem. That's my fault. That's my problem. And I just gotta make time for it. Just been dealing with a lot of stuff, and but we're not here to talk about that. This isn't. Let's figure out what's up with Mills. No, 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 no. This is sports talk. Now let us talk about it. Now we're gonna talk about the Los Angeles Clippers and how Kawhi Leonard apparently he got hurt in the first game. Okay, his knee or something. Something has to deal with his leg, which we all know he's been dealing with this hamstring injury that's been lingering for like the past 7 seasons, ever since he was like a part of the Sacramento Spurs and so on and so forth. So it's followed him from Sacramento, um, not Sacramento, San Antonio. I apologize. Not Sacramento Spurs, San Antonio Spurs. Whoopity doo. Not whoopity doo, but you know, you know what I was saying. You know where I was going. Anywho, yes, the San Antonio Spurs. So after he left the San Antonio Spurs, his injury lingered on to when he went to the Toronto Raptors, and now being on the Los Angeles Clippers, the injury has traveled there yet again. You would think that moving around in all these different climates, that would help with some of his injuries. I understand that Texas is very humid, so it's not good for if you got like a an inflammatory issue and stuff like that. So you fly all the way up there to Toronto. You're in Canada. It's cold. I mean, that should help. That should help a little bit with your swelling issues and stuff like that. Keeping all that down and your blood flow going. That should help. So then you go to California. Well, that's a dry climate. There's no humidity. That should, help with your swelling as well too. Plus, you got plenty of aquatics out there for you to do. Plenty of aquatic exercises to help strengthen your stuff. But yet you don't do that. I don't know if it's you either you're just like Anthony Davis and somebody blows on you and you get hurt, or whatever it is. It's saddening. It's saddening to the fans. It's saddening to the organization because they want a championship and they brought you and Paul George out there to try to get this such that championship, but you guys have done absolutely nothing to show for except for be hurt and just take their money. Yeah, you're like, you know what, 42 million. Yeah, please, just give it to me. Just give me the money, and I'll play whenever I play. I'll miss a year. I'll miss a year and a half. I'll miss the games that really mattered. Like, look, I don't care. When it comes to the playoffs, if you're in the playoffs or you're in a finals of any sort like that, and you're a little banged up. You know, if you can walk, you can move. I don't care. Get out there, suck it up. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have that will and that fortitude, which a lot of athletes, I feel they don't have. They don't have that drive. They have that quit in them instead of that. I'm a do whatever I can, and I'm a work through it, because at the end of the game, I'll just heal up at the end of the game. When it's over, I'll heal up. This is for me. It's for the team. It's for my family. You gotta find that grit inside you, that deep dog in you that barks and goes after it. And he has it, at times when it comes to balling, but he doesn't have it when it counts. Like even just being a little bit hurt, like he's just like, I can't do it. I'm sorry, like, you know, you gonna put me in a wheelchair, and like, bring the wheelchair out at the end of the game, and I'll collapse in that, and just wheel me over to the ice bath, and throw me in the ice bath, and then throw me in the sauna, and then back in the ice bath, like, and then throw me on the table for a massage and some acupuncture. All these good things, these things that should help alleviate your problem that you probably don't do. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not Kawhi. I'm not his trainer. I'm not his coach. I don't know what he's doing. But I agree with what some people say, that yeah, it might be time to hang up the kicks, my man. You know what I'm saying? Throw the jersey on the wall and just be like, we had a good run. We got a championship out of it. We did our thing. So yeah, I could be out. I made a lot of money. You know, got a lot of free food and stuff. But for sure, he definitely, I mean, I wouldn't say definitely, but I don't think his heart's in it. Just like a lot of people. You know, your heart got to be in it. If your heart ain't in it, then how are you gonna be in it? You feel me? So there we have it. There's that. Um, now let's talk about them Warriors. Yeah. I haven't been on, in a week. I did the podcast. I mean, it might have been 2 weeks. Well, I didn't do the podcast, but I made the video, for my next episode. It was episode 4. I just never aired it. I never got around to it. I've been kind of like in this weird space, but and a lot of it's dealing with sports. In my squad, Golden State is my squad, and I kind of felt like, the refs were doing too much. They were out there making too many foul calls, like ruining the game, which I didn't like at all. Um, and I have the numbers right here. Okay, we can go over it. We can go over the numbers. We can go over. I have the numbers for all the series right here. I have the numbers for how many fouls were called in what series, in all the series, in every freaking series. Is like, it's ridiculous on how many fouls were called in the first round of the playoffs. I didn't even do that. I didn't even add that up. Like, if I added that up, that would be ridiculous. But here. I feel like I'm missing one. Anyways, okay. Let's start with the Minnesota. Well, let's start with the New York Cleveland. Okay, in the New York Cleveland series, there was a total of 189 fouls called. Okay, you hear that? 189 fouls called. New York had 87 fouls called against them. Cleveland had 102 fouls called against them. All right, let's go to the next series. Miami, Milwaukee, 196 fouls called. Miami had 102 fouls called against them. Meanwhile, Milwaukee had 94. All right, let's go to the next one. Boston, 197 fouls called. All right, 99 for Boston, 98 for Atlanta. Let's go to the next series. Uh, the Clippers Phoenix series, 221 fouls called in that series. The Clippers had 115. Meanwhile, Phoenix had 106. Um, Minnesota Denver, 223 fouls called. Minnesota had 108. Denver had 115. Let's go to the Memphis Los Angeles Lakers series, 228 fouls called. Memphis 123. Lakers 105. Let's go to the Golden State Warriors in Sacramento series, 317 fouls called. 167 against Golden State, 150 against Sacramento. Are you kidding me? 317 fouls called? The Lakers had 228. That's almost 100 more than the other team. That's ridiculous. I understand it went to a game 7, but theirs only went to a game 6. That is ridiculous. 317 fouls called. I have it broken down game by game. Game by game. First game, Golden State 25, Sacramento 23. Second game, Golden State 26, Sacramento 25. 22, 19, 21, 19, 24, 18, 26, 23, 23, 23. That's a lot of freaking fouls called. That's taken away from the game right there. You want to know who had the most? Miami in one game. 31 fouls called in one game. And that was the last game of the series. The last game. That's when Giannis came back, right? Milwaukee only had 21 fouls called against them. Are you hearing these numbers right here? These analytics right here? These numbers? This is ridiculous. Like, I don't know if it's and no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say I don't know if it's the players or if it's the refs. Like it's the refs, man. And not to mention there could have been so many other fouls called in that game that weren't called, and there was calls that were called fouls that shouldn't have been called fouls. It's absurd how many fouls are calling these days. There should not be calling 20 fouls a game. Nobody should be shooting 15, 20, 30 free throws, as a team or as a person, as a player. Well, what was that in that Memphis series or whatever? Desmond Bain shot was like 14 for 14 in free throws or like 17 for 17 in free throws or something like that. Like, come on, man, that's ridiculous. Come on, refs, we got to do better. Like the consistency, it's not consistent. It's inconsistent. It's the inconsistencies that are ruining the game. If you're gonna call a foul, make sure you call a foul for every which way that you have done it. Don't stop right there. You know, you're gonna call a foul. Make sure you call the play right. You do the things right, and you're not ruining the game for the people that are there, that have paid good money to be there, for the fans that are sitting at their house that pay these ridiculous cable prices to watch their sports teams and these ridiculous cable packages to watch their favorite sports teams. They want to watch them and they want to root for them without the referees ruining the game. Like, we don't need them to ruin the game. No, we don't. I'm sorry. We're not here for that. No. What we are here for is to watch this stuff and 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 to be fascinated, to be absorbed into it, and Simple as that. Like that's what we're there for. That's what we want. That's what we want to do. And if we're not able to do that, if we're not able to watch, you know, our favorite, teams, watch, you know, our favorite players and root for them, unapologetically, as we do as people, um, then it sucks for us. It takes away from the experience. It takes away from the moment. The emotion that is tied with it. Everything. Come on, some of us got anger issues. I don't know about you, but some of us have anger issues. I'm not gonna say I do, but some people do, and they don't want to be yelling at the TV, with their neighbors, finger on the dial, ready to call the cops because they're like, "Wow, whoa, 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 what's going on?" Yeah. Anywho, but yeah, straight up, that's that's how it is. That's how I'm feeling, and I don't know how you feel about that. You tell me how you feel about that. In the comments, please leave a comment, leave a suggestion. I appreciate that. Um, Anywho, how about this in NFL news? Happy to announce Lamar Jackson finally got the money that he was so looking forward to. Meanwhile, and that's after Jalen Hurts signed his contract. I'm pretty sure once Jalen Hurts signed his contract, Baltimore was like, oh, okay, he got what, like 175 million guaranteed. They were like, oh, all right, now we got like an actual player who's actually been somewhere, and we see what kind of money he's making. It's not a fluke like Deshaun Jackson getting that 225 million guaranteed. Now we see like what a real quarterback is actually making, and then not that Kyler Murray shit, because Kyler Murray, nothing against him, he's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback, but he hasn't proved anything to get to get the caliber of money that he's getting. To get all that money, he has not proved why he should get that. Um, you show up sometimes, and then it's like you're there. Sometimes you're not there. So, yeah, you need to figure out what you're gonna do with your time. Now, you can play your video games, and you can play football. You can do both. But just know that football comes first and your video games come second. But once your video games become first, that means you should probably retire from football. Just saying. But you're gonna have plenty of time to play Call of Duty because your legs all broke and whatnot. So you're gonna be sitting on the sidelines anyway. So you're gonna have plenty of time to do all that now. But when it comes time for you to get on that field, you're gonna have to get on that field and you're gonna have to act right. It's shown that you're worth that money because I feel everybody should be getting all the money that they're deserving of getting. And if you're not getting it, and well, if you're not performing at the caliber that you should be, then I don't think you should be getting it. But as an athlete, you should be getting whatever money especially if you're good. If you got the talent, you should be making whatever you want type deal. I'm with it. I'm out there. I wish I was up there making that athlete kind of money, guaranteed 175 million, for the next 5 years for me just doing me. That would be amazing. But I'm not them and they're them. I was an athlete. I played football, basketball, baseball, did all that stuff. But, I never put in the time. Like fully. I was always dedicated. I just never had the support from I guess my family and my coaches. So
if you got a good support system, I guarantee you're gonna go places. You are going places. But if you don't, it's kind of hard to try to do it by yourself. Especially if you don't have that motivation to do it by yourself. So, you know, sucks, sucks to be, sucks to do, but it is what it is. But to continue on, we do have the 76ers playing the Boston Celtics tonight in the second round of the playoffs. Bada bada. We also have the second game of the Heat facing off the New York Knicks, which the Heat did beat the New York Knicks the other night. Oh, my bad. That will be tomorrow. It's no, no, that was yesterday. See, I'm all jumbled over here. But yes, the Heat did beat the Knicks in the first game for the second round of the series. Um, Heat beat the Knicks at home. But tonight, as I was saying, is going to be the 76ers versus the Boston Celtics, and then the second game of the Phoenix Suns versus the Denver Nuggets. The Suns or the Nuggets won that first game, so they're up 1-0 in that series. Um, can't wait for the game tomorrow. Lakers, Warriors, of course, and then 70. No, 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 no. Heat Knicks. Knicks. See, I'm all jumbled. I'm all jumbled over here. It's my first live. My bad. Bear with me. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a bird. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just trying to fill this time, fill the space. I appreciate you guys hanging on here live with me, as I rant and rave and talk about, some of these here sports. But I promise next time I'll be better prepared. I promise you, I promise you. But until then, it was a pleasure, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm the one called Mills, and this is Let Us Talk Sports Live.